Well, hello YouTube. It has been a minute since I have made a video. It's been since May actually, since I've made a video. It is, as of the time of this recording, just after Thanksgiving. So I've got my seasonal fluff on my face and belly going. So I might look a little bit larger than the last time I posted a video, but I'm doing well. Hope everybody out there is doing well also. Yeah, the last time I posted, there just wasn't a whole lot of traction on the video, and it's a grind to make these videos and just kind of struggling with what kinds of content to make because I want to be helpful. I do enjoy making the videos, but I don't want to make videos just for the sake of making videos, but I have a good reason to make a video. It seems like for some reason the algorithm continues to push out my eBay trading card video, and so I get questions on there pretty frequently, and I've still been monitoring the questions throughout my absence from creating videos on YouTube. So hopefully everybody that wanted to reply got a reply, but I thought I would just kind of take the opportunity to start making videos and answering some of these questions because I'm sure that other people have the same questions as well. So I had a great question from, I think it's Pinoy Quality. They said, great video. I say to you, thank you very much for that. They said, I wanted to start my own eBay shop selling cards as well. Do you recommend getting an LLC? And essentially my response to them, to boil it down, is yes. It's a no-brainer to go ahead and get yourself an LLC if you think that you're going to be in this hobby for any amount of time. You get a lot of tax benefits that come with that, and it's just a good practice to be in, especially if you're going to be selling any kind of quantity. Like last year there was I think a $600 threshold that if you sold $600 worth of goods, then you would have to turn in on the IRS for that stuff and be taxed for it. Then they kind of rolled that back because they realized that they didn't have enough tax preparers last year, and so then it went back up to the minimum threshold of $20,000. Well, I wound up meeting that minimum threshold of $20,000 because I worked my tail off last year, and I was doing a ton of reselling with clothing and just all kinds of stuff that I was finding from thrift shops. But now this year I'm finding myself where I'm well below that $20,000 threshold, and I'm just kind of waiting and wondering what's going to happen. But ultimately, I have peace of mind because my ducks are in a row, because I filed for an LLC, I have an accountant, I have all of these tax breaks that I enjoy throughout the year, no matter how much I buy or sell. It's just all positive things. So for me, I'm in the state of Kansas, and for you, it's going to differ depending upon your state. But where I started by hiring an accountant. Now, granted, I am very fortunate. I have an accountant in the family who's a cousin of mine. She's a phenomenal person, and she does all of that work for free for me, which is pretty wild. Thank you, cousin. You're amazing. I know you're probably not watching this, but I'm sending good vibes your way. You're probably not going to be in a situation where you get an accountant for free, but whatever amount of money it is that accountant wants, probably a couple $100 a year to kind of file your taxes for you, for me at least, I think that it's well worth it. It's peace of mind for you. So I contacted my cousin. They were actually in a different state, so they weren't familiar with tax laws locally in Kansas. So that was a bit of a learning curve, but they hooked me up with all the places that I needed to go, the forms that I needed to fill out. I think it was $140 in order to file my company as an LLC. And that was it, literally. I sent off some paperwork, and then a couple weeks later, I got an EIN number, employer identification number, I think it is, for the government. That's something that you have to have. And the advice from the cousin was just keep track of everything that you buy and everything that you sell all year long. So I've got a very simple Excel spreadsheet. I keep track every month of how many items I sell on eBay and how much money I bring in as well. And then every single time I make a purchase, I save those receipts digitally because whenever you make a purchase online, you'll get an email back, right? And I just label that as receipts for the year, and that's just saved digitally. So there's really no paperwork that I have to sell. It's very rare that I go out into a store and I buy something for my business. But most websites that I buy on, at least the ones that I prefer now, I get tax exempt status, which is significant in Kansas, especially because we're up over 9% sales tax rate. That adds up really, really quick. So like Walmart, where else? Amazon, I've got an Amazon business account. Those are kind of my two frequent places that I'm buying on. I guess TikTok a little bit nowadays with the TikTok coupons, but we don't have tax exempt status on there. We don't have tax exempt status on TCG Player. eBay is another place that I've got tax exempt status that I buy a ton of stuff on. So really to me, there's no drawback to filing for an LLC and getting yourself set up, because it's not like there's a ton of fees every year. Now, granted, if you're only selling, like $50 to $100 every year on eBay, your accountant is going to probably eat up that money pretty quick. But throughout the year, you're still getting that good tax benefit. So maybe, like me, I buy a heck of a lot more than I sell because I'm investing. I'm a Pokemon investor. And One Piece now too. Man, we need to probably talk about One Piece, because One Piece really wasn't a thing whenever I was doing this before, but it's kind of popping off. Maybe that's a separate video if people have interest in my thoughts on that. But yeah, so like whatever I buy, I am getting tax benefits from that because I'm not paying sales tax on it, and I'm buying it. It's coming to my house. It's sitting in my basement, and then year over year, as it's appreciating, that's just good things for me. It's a living, breathing savings account that I can touch and feel and look at, and I like that. I still have the issue sometimes of going down to the basement and being like, ooh, I would really like to open another one of those Lost Origin booster boxes. I would really like to. I don't need to. I've got the master set. Don't need it, but it's fun. You guys know what I'm talking about, being Pokemon fanatics. So yeah, short answer, yes, file for an LLC. I really have seen no drawbacks to it at all. If I were to get audited at some point, I would have everything tracked and accounted for. I think it's important to know that you do need to keep track of everything, and I think that that's a good practice to get into anyway. But yeah, file for an LLC. I've seen nothing but great benefits for it for my business personally. So we'll wrap up this video. We'll keep them short and sweet, kind of do a one-take action, no cuts. And yeah, if you guys have other questions, you're interested in wondering about a person that buys a lot and sells a lot of Pokemon cards and now One Piece on eBay, fire away. I'm happy to answer your questions. So thanks for tuning in. Leave a like. Maybe you should subscribe. That'd be real nice, real good, because people are still subscribing. It's awesome. We're getting ready to approach 2,000 subscribers. Woot woot. Hope you're doing well. We'll catch you in the next one. Thanks, everybody.